What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I haven't made a video in a long time. Been like 7 months. But today we'll be doing a GFX tutorial. I'm gonna be showing you how to use this. You're gonna need a few things. It's gonna be a computer, a decent computer. You don't need something crazy, but obviously you're gonna need a decent enough computer to run Blender, um, and render stuff. It shouldn't be too hard. You need Roblox Studio free, Blender free, and then an editing software, which is I will link a free one in the description. It's a website. It's called Photopea. It's basically the Walmart version of Photoshop. I'm gonna be using Photoshop. It's like $25 a month, really expensive. But if you wanna use Photopea, you can. Want to use Photoshop, you can. So then you need a plugin. There's a plugin I'll link in the description. It's a free avatar inserter. The one I use is paid, so I'm gonna have a different one, but it's gonna be like the same thing. Like you put the username ID and whatever. Okay. So once you get this, you're gonna put the ID, whatever it says on your screen. Then it's gonna say, do you want to spawn in or original R6, R15, or old R15? If you're using the rigged, which we're gonna be doing this in today, want to spawn in R6. You're gonna ask me why. Well, the texture won't work if it's not R6. So if you do R15, the texture will like glitch out. So it has to be R6. And then right here, if you click on it and then have the properties tab open, it's gonna say position 36. If you just delete it, put a 0 in, enter, it's gonna put you directly in the middle. And then you can save this. You're gonna hit right click it, and export selection. Save that wherever. You can just save that. And that's gonna be basically the texture. And then you have to save the hats. You just open it up. Hit Control, and then you can select them. Then you would export selection as well. I already saved this. But basically the hats, the first one is going to be getting the texture, the textures for all the hats and stuff, and then the second one is going to be the actual models for them. So once you save it, you're done. You can move this out of your way, and you can close Studio and open up Blender. So I'm going to link these two files in the description. One is going to be a lighting setup, and one's going to be the rig. So you want to open the rig. And once you open it, it's gonna look like this. So once you open it, you're going to go to this tab right here and make sure it's on not CPU, but GPU. And if this is on CPU, your computer is going to be really slow, and it's using your CPU. The GPU is meant for rendering. The CPU isn't. So you want to do that. And then another very important thing is that if I don't have a camera on here, you're going to add a camera, right? You add and then a camera. And then you can hit the little camera button to get it in it. I think to move, it's Control Q. I have a keybind, but the default one is Q. Let's do a perfect square. To get the perfect square, you hit this little like printer, and you just do 1,000 by 1,000. Oops. Okay. So just like that, we'll move it in maybe a little bit. Okay. Then next, the very important thing is going back to the render settings right here and going down to film and clicking transparent. I'm not going to click it yet, but when you hit the camera, there's no transparent background. When I activate that, Actually, it should be in the rendering thing, but when I activate that, it creates a transparent background that you basically need. So activate that, and then you can close that out, and then actually start the thing. So the first thing you want to do is drag this up. Click the little circle here, the ball, and then go to shader editor. And then click the anything on this model, and then zoom out, come to main texture, and click that, the X, and then open, and find wherever you downloaded the first thing we saved, which I said was the texture. For me, I recommend saving it into a file, so it would look like a texture handle _0, just like that. And then you're gonna be like, "Where's the texture?" You just have to hit the little ball up there to load this. Don't run on this one. This is the rendered one. It's gonna make really laggy. Don't run on that. Run on this one, I recommend. Okay, you can close that. You have the texture now, and then you want to add the hats. So you want to go up here, file. You want to import and do wavefront.obj. Find wherever you downloaded your hats. Okay, it was a YouTube. I downloaded this. Since when we did it, we set it to 0. The position, it should just, you can just move it up. So we're gonna go ahead and just align this real quick. Just make it perfect. There we go. That looks good. So there's 2 ways you can do this. If you have headless, I'm gonna do the headless way, but if you don't, I'll do that this way as well. But you want to click the hat, and then hit Shift and click the head, and then hit Control P, and then click the object. Basically, what that's doing, this is if you are not using headless to render, which I'm sure, I don't think many of you are going to be using headless. But what that does is connects the hat and the head, and you want to basically go to pose mode. Just click that. Oops, click that, and then click up here, and pose mode. And then basically what this does, if you click the little head thing here, you want to rotate it. It moves your head, accessories, everything connected, and it's basically this is how you pose. You can pose it. It's kind of you know how to do this. Like, it's basically Roblox Studio, but you see how smooth it is. Like, you cannot do this on the Studio. Like, you can move like that, like that. But let's go back in object mode, and if you're doing headless, just like me, right click it and then hit delete. Now, one thing is, if you go back into pose mode once you have no head, you cannot move it. It's gonna be like glitchy. So to go around this, you have to pose the head only in object mode as the hats, so like this, and then pose the rest of the body in pose mode. So once you get your pose, I already made my pose, so we're not gonna be waiting too long. But okay, so once you get your pose, this is my pose, basic pose. You want to open the next file. Let me close this out. The next file would be Lightroom, and what Lightroom is. Let's open. Where the hell is Lightroom? Okay. So Lightroom's gonna look like this, and it's gonna be a separate file. What you want to do is just go to the Lightroom right here. Let's copy that, and just go ahead and just paste data blocks. So it's gonna spawn like this. So real quick, if I hide this, oops, wrong one. If I hide the Lightroom right here and go to the little render option, go to my camera, this looks terrible. Like, there's no lighting, there's nothing. And watch once I put the lighting back in, how well that looks, how good this looks. So you don't have to do anything. If you had it centered already, the lighting should be perfect. You don't have to do anything to the lighting. The lighting is transparent, so like in this, but just make sure you had the transparent option on and film. If you do not have this on, you won't have a transparent background. So when you're done, you'll hit render image, which is just F12 if you're lazy, and it'll render this. Should take a few seconds. Right here it says it's gonna take 30. And I'm gonna wait for this to complete. Alright. So once it's done, you wanna hit image and hit save as. And make sure it is RGBA so it gets the transparent background. None of this really matters, but the rest of it. And then save it somewhere where you want it. I already saved it. And then you can save this scene if you wanna just save the scene. I would if you want to save it, hit save as. Don't hit save because it's gonna save right into the rig. So we're just gonna hit don't save and then don't save. So we did that. Now it's time to actually edit. So I'm gonna use Photoshop. Okay. So you can just drag your image on from your file and just drag it on here. It should look like something like that. Just activate it. So I already made this. I recorded this before and the quality was terrible, so I had to re-record this video. So that's why everything's done. But basically, editing, I can't really show you how to edit like I do, but you just follow around. I went to get the theme of the colors like black and red, so went to get black and red gradient background, which I really like this one. Then we're gonna add text. So we put GFX tutorial, and then we put 2023 because that space is kind of empty, so we put 2023 there. And then we put my little watermark down there. And then to cap it all, we did color corrections, which make the thing a little more better. So that's the finished product. Editing, I can't really show you too much of editing. That's kind of thing that you have to be good at yourself. You can't just like say, oh, it's on your opinion. But I could show you how to make the renders and everything like that. Then you'd save this, everything. So you can just search a background, just throw it on, and make sure the actual render is in front or like above the, because if I go like this, the render's gone. So that's the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this and give me a subscribe, a follow, whatever. And if you want a more in-depth tutorial, I will make one maybe in 2024, 2 months. So go subscribe and thank you.